All right, so we have our second topic today, collecting like terms. You don't know what like terms are yet. Basically, it's trying to decide when you have an expression or polynomial or a bunch of stuff written together, a bunch of terms, you have to figure out which terms can go together and which terms cannot go together. So let's take a simple example to start. Last time we measured my awesome car. Okay, it got awesomer, I guess. We measured it using my shoe, and we said my shoe was X. Let's say we measured it using my shoe and using my cell phone. Okay, so we're going to call my shoe is X, and we're going to call my phone Y. So let's measure it using a combination. So let's go like 1 shoe, 2 shoe, 3 shoe, 4, 5, and then we'll put a couple phones. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then let's say maybe we have like 3 centimeters at the end. Okay? If I wrote this out as a math expression saying what's happening, it would be X plus X plus X plus X plus X for all 5 of those shoes. And then plus Y plus Y plus Y plus Y for those 4 phones that I had. Then plus 3 at the end. So now our question is what stuff can go together? These X's are all exactly the same. So basically what we're saying is we have 5 X's, and the way that we write 5X is this. We have 5 X's. Then we can look at the Y's. We have 4 Y's. So the way we write that is 4Y. And because the Y is positive, there's no negatives or anything. It's going to be plus 4Y. The last thing is the 3. I might want to say, oh, let's add this together and make it like 7Y. But the thing is, the shoes, we don't know, or the phones, we don't know how big those are. We know these 4 are the exact same, so we can say there's 4 of them. But these 3 centimeters are by themselves. They are distinct and separate. They stay as their own constant term. So we turned this ginormous thing, simplified it into a trinomial. So simplify basically means collect the like terms. Like terms means make it so that the same letters go together. X's get added with X's, Y's get added with Y's. Okay? It makes a lot of sense when you think of it this way. When it's abstract, it's a little trickier. There's another thing I want to show you, which is x squared. This is kind of a newer concept with exponents that a lot of people have trouble with. I want to show you what it means. X squared does not mean 2x. That's not what it is. 2x means 2 x's. So like that would be 2 of my shoe in a row. That's how long 2 of my shoes would be. X squared is actually x times x. Okay? And the way we like to think of it is, again, with the measurement, if we have a rectangle. So let's say that my shoe sits on one side and my shoe sits on the other side. So this side is x long, my shoe, and this side is x long as well. If I wanted to find the area, how big the area of that rectangle is, we have a formula for area. Length times width. Length times width. So my length in this situation is x, and my width in this situation is x. So that means it gives me x squared. So what I want you to be careful of is, do you think that x squared is the same as x? It's not, because if we think about it, x squared represents like a 2-dimensional rectangular shape. X represents just a line that is x centimeters long. So be careful, because if you have a question that says x squared plus x, these two can't actually combine together because they're not like terms. They're not exactly the same. But if you had x squared plus x squared, so you have 2 of those rectangular boxes, you can actually say that's the same as 2x squared. Those are like terms and can combine. So I have some examples here. This first one I said, if you have x and another x and you're adding them together, they can go together. That's fine. It makes it 3x. Remember, when there's no number in front of a letter, it just means there's a 1. If you have something like this, x minus y, these two are different letters. So this was my shoe, this was my phone. Those are different. They're not the same. Because they're not the same, you can't combine them. So you actually just leave it the way it is, and you don't put those two together. This one says x squared plus 3x. Let's make it blue so it's easier to see. Okay? X squared and x squared are both like terms. They're the same, so we can add them together. So that means I had 1x squared plus 3x squared gives me 4x squared. This one, I have x squared plus 2x. Again, x squared represents a square area. 2x represents length. These two are not the same, so we can't add them together. So they stay different. The last one, we have x squared and y squared. X squared and y squared, x squared is a shoe. If I made my shoes into an area of a square, y squared was with my cell phones. That square, that y squared, is actually smaller than the x squared was. So you can't actually combine them because they're different sizes. You can only combine them if they're the exact same size. I want to do one more tricky question to show you how to handle these tough ones. So if I had something like, actually I have it down. Yeah, let's say this, 2x okay? This is a lot of terms, okay? Don't freak out. Take it one at a time and try and simplify. What I like to do, I circle the first term, 2x, and I see what can go with this. What is like terms? Is 5y similar to x? Are those the same letter? No, so I'm going to skip that one. The next one, negative 3x. They're both x's, so I can combine those together. So when I do 2x minus 3x, I actually end up with negative 1x. Now I go to the next one because I don't see any more x's. I'm done. I'm going to do 5y. Does 5y go with y squared? No, because they're different. This is a horizontal length. This is a square. So I'm not going to do those two. 10 doesn't work either. It's a constant. It doesn't fit with y's. But this plus 3y at the end does. So I'm going to go plus 5y plus 3y gives me plus 8y. Now I have this y squared. Let's look at this one. Plus 4y squared. It doesn't go with the 10, so I'm just going to write plus 4y squared. It doesn't change. And then again, the 10, same thing. It's different from everything else. It doesn't have any like terms, so it stays by itself. That's how you deal with these big, long questions. Combine the ones that are the same, the exact same, like x and x, or x squared and x squared, stuff like that, and put them together. Be careful when you're doing negatives. Make sure you use your calculator to double check your answers, and that's it.